Okie doke. Let's go. Okie doke. Live on Twitch. Live on Kick. Live on YouTubes. Okay. Oh, hold on 1 second. Alright. Stream. Multi-stream number 12? 13? 13. Multi-stream number 13. Okay. Good. Alright, I am closing the chat windows on Twitch and Kick and YouTube because, let me turn this down, everything lags. Anyway, after the stream, I'll hop back on and see what everybody says, if anybody says anything. And if not, and see if anybody follows. If not, I will not say anything. Okie doke. Alright. Mercenary, Reincarnated as a Chef, Book 3. Stream 13. 75,453 words. We are 75.453% done. Today's goal will be 78,000. 2,500 words is a goal, but that'll put us at 27,954, so we might as well just go for 78. Yesterday, let me shut this. Yesterday, I got 2,700 words done in, in like an hour and 45 minutes, maybe? An hour 35? So today's goal is same amount of words-ish, somewhere around there, but no rush, not in any hurry. Let's see. So I'll do a recap tomorrow of Mercenary Reincarnated as a Chef as a whole, as Friday. Tips, writing tips. Let's see, one I said was write every day, pick a number, a word count, and write. The second day, this is loud. The second day was don't delete your stuff. The third day was exercise. Yeah, I think I said exercise because it's really important. You don't realize how much it is important, especially for writer's block. Any kind of exercise, yoga, stretching, walking, whatever. It's just physical exercise. Helps the brain think, gets all this shit out of it. What else? I said something else the other day, but I forgot what it was. Maybe, oh, expect your first few books to suck, or your first book to suck. That's just expected, because you're not a good writer. Why would you be? You just started writing. It takes a while to get good, The more you do it, the better you get. Alright, so today's tip would be don't take yourself so seriously. You're not Kafka. You're not Dostoevsky. You're not Tolstoy. You're not Shakespeare. You're not Robert Jordan. You're not, And even if you were, who cares, Don't take yourself so seriously. You're not that important. It really helps with the writing. Alright. So, let's see. Let's get going. What happened last time? Let me turn this down a little bit. There. Last time we left off. Diamond Lou was talking about how uncomfortable he was with an 18, 17, whatever she was, I think 18, year old girl. No, maybe 15, 16, 17. Because Lou's 15. Maybe 17, I think, in books 1 and 2. 17. physically, but mentally he's like 50 something. This is not me, and this is not like a pervy thing, so don't. I hate people get like that. It's weird shit. He's having a moral quandary with it and decides to deal with it later. So he turns the tables on her and asks about her family and how they're doing. So yeah, a little manipulation. That was after they assaulted the inner gatehouse, inner wall, the second ring, the inner wall, the second ring wall of the city, this gatehouse, and took it over. Okay, so that's where we are now. All right, and we are on chapter 24. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 more pages here. Chapter 24, 75,452 words. 78K is the goal. Tomorrow we'll be at 80,000. That'll be cool. That means 20% to go. Tomorrow's Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Tuesday we'll be at 90,000. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So next Saturday, should be done with the book. I mean, then rewrites, but shit, that'd be pretty cool. What's that? 75,000 words from 7/8, that, or 7/8. So July 8th to calendar. Why isn't it pulling up? To the 23rd. So 30, 37, 43, 44 days. 44 days, 75,000 words. It's not bad, you know. If we had the 25K before, that was another month, so we'll see. 2.5 months, not bad. All right, here we go. Mercenary, Reincarnated as a Chef, Book 3. Oh, if you haven't, check out the Storyforge podcast. My buddy Dominique Mondesi, he's a author in England. We're doing a podcast where we make up a story on the fly. It's called Storyforge. It's at my YouTube channel. And I think and Kick and Twitch is streaming one of the episodes. But we're going to do that every week, and it's pretty fun. It's kind of neat. We just create a story on the fly. All right. Oh, and if you want to read my books, this is annoying. Check out my social media. You know, I'll do this at the end. All right, here we go. Mercenary, Reincarnated as a Chef, Book 3. That was the source of his teenage freakout. He didn't want to deal with that part of being a teenager yet. Growing up. With that side of... He didn't want to deal with that side of growing up, that side of things yet. Why can I write? Yeah, period. Why is... Okay, let's wait. Yet. Let me restand myself. Okay, here we go. Turn this down. Alright. He'd already grown up once and knew what was in store. Puberty was not something that most adult humans wanted to experience for a second time. Soon, his body was too soon, His body was a barely contained mass of pubescent emotions and unstable hormones that were all trying to escape at the same time. He doubted that even with all his training and iron will, if he hadn't regularly been killing things, monsters, he would probably have already succumbed to his most basic instincts, base nature. Diamond Lou was known for many things, but being basic was not one of them. The prep talk he gave himself upped his confidence enough to take control of the situation. Lou pulled Lady Cecilia close in a tight hug faster than she knew what was happening. Then he squeezed her just short of taking her breath away before letting go, holding her out at arm's length and giving her his most sympathetic and non-sexual gaze. That was the key point to his plan. His plan. Of course, I'm glad you're here. I was meaning to come to go check on you. How are you holding up? Come? Yeah. How are you holding up? It must be hard worrying about your family, being so close yet so far away, he said, putting as much empathy as he could into the words while watching Lady Cecilia's reaction closely. Then it happened. Her entire demeanor changed, going from sultry and lascivious to the scared, going from sultry and mildly lewd to the scared, wide-eyed gaze of a young girl fearing for her mother and father's lives. Some would call what Lou just did manipulation. He would term it survival. Alright. Okay. I haven't heard from them in over 2 days. But my father said that he wouldn't be able to contact me again for at least a week, as they were having to ration their mana crystals and other magical resources for the defense of the manor period. She said, tears in her eyes, but voice strong and steady. Lord Cerulean hadn't raised a weakling. Sure, she was a pretty and petite thing, but there was a spine of steel under that beautiful Facade. Aw, yeah. That's how we roll. I think I might meander while I'm writing, think about stuff, talk about things. I don't know, just thinking, right? It's been really draining to just, I don't know if you've been watching the last few days, it's like what's the word? It's like, it's mentally taxing to just straight write, you know? Like just write. It's tough. So, alright, that's good. Just checking the streams, making sure they're going good. Okay, cool. Things seem to be working. Alright. Okay, so, as I was saying, like, I might meander mentally for a little bit. Back and forth. Lord Cerulean hadn't raised a weakling. Sure, she was pretty and petite, but there was a spine of steel under that beautiful blonde facade. Lou turned his sympathetic look to one of shared camaraderie, and with a little camaraderie. Camaraderie. There we go. To one of shared camaraderie with a little vicious shark with little viciousness tossed in for good measure. If there is one thing that I'm not worried about, is your father and mother. Not only are they strong fighters on their own, but I'll be damned if Captain, what was her name? Guard Captain. Can't remember her name. Man. That's the thing about the third book, like, or even the second book, or even the first book. Like, you have to remember characters' names or go back and search for them. But Guard Captain. We'll just come back here. The Vice Guard Captain, or any of the guards, for that matter, would let anything happen to your parents. Not after what happened with the Thieves Guild. Every single one of them is much stronger now. Every single one of the guards is much stronger now. Your parents will be fine when we get there. Which, if we continue at our current pace, will be far ahead of our projected schedule. That's for my British friends. He finished his shark-like grin firmly in place. What's gonna happen next? Let's think about what happens next. Think about what happens next. Lady Cecilia smiled back, her tears still streaming, but her eyes and smile beginning to mirror his own. Okay. Smile. There we go. Good. Alright, everything is cruising along. Alright, let's think. Lady Cecilia smiled back, her tears still streaming down her porcelain like skin-like cheeks. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright. Let's see what happens there at the gatehouse. I gotta think. I hope you're right. I have to get back to the infirmary. Period. I told Monica that I was going to the ladies' room. She stood up and gave Lou a quick peck on the cheek before turning to leave. But not before Lou saw her face turn as beet red as his own felt. He stood and watched the exit stairwell that she left from for a few brain-addled moments before shaking his head and looking back out over the second ring. The area between his position on the second ring wall, across the way. From his position atop the gatehouse of the second ring wall, comma, he could see all the way to the gatehouse of the first ring wall. Of the innermost ring wall, but not its gatehouse. Well, yeah. And it's comma, more specifically, the gatehouse they'd need to overcome to enter the center ring of Helter Skelter. Skeletor. More importantly, well, I'll come back and rewrite that. Thinking. Staring off space and thinking. Well, it'd be an opportune time to check messages, but they just do that. I have an idea. Let me think. Oh, okay, I got an idea. Lou had messages waiting in his... Lou had unread messages waiting in his HUD, comma, so he read them over, so he perused them as he scanned the city between the... Oh, Siri, why you... Siri just activated. Sneaky Siri. He scanned the city between the two gatehouses, trying to decide the best plan of attack. Think, buddy. Let's see. Do 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 do. The first few messages were just informing him of the annexation and integration of the gatehouse and how much longer it would take. Just over half a day, which was a long time. So far, each of the territories that had been added to the place only took minutes to a few hours at the longest. Then Lou reached a new message. And things made a little bit more sense. See? Deus Machina. Deus Machina. The beauty of being started making more sense. You can always go back, rewrite, change, add a line, have an idea, whatever, to make something work in the future. It's the beauty of writing. There's, well, you know what's kind of cool? It's a little quantum physics-y. Time is non-linear, so you can change whenever, you know what I mean? As you write the story, you can go back. It's kind of crazy, right? La 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 dun 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 dun. Thinking 75 915. Let's get to 76,000. Not quite sure what to write. Ba, ba, ba. So not quite 500 words. It's been over a half hour. Hey, we missed it by a little bit, but it'll be okay. Today's a down day, and like, you know, trying to hit a quota. You know, gotta let the brain think about shit, because otherwise you just put out just nonsensical garbage sometimes. If you just write and write and write, you haven't had time to think about things. And also, I'm doing this podcast, so that's thinking about another story. And then I have another story I want to write as soon as this one's over. And then I have another story after that I want to write. So it's trying to, this is going to sound woo-woo-y, but for somebody who is an author, writer, creative, an artist, whatever, trying to focus on one project for a long period of time is hard because you have so many more ideas. It's almost like when you're working with a group in a project, there's so many ideas it's hard to pick a path. It's kind of like that all the time. Okay. Sufficient territory has been annexed and has been annexed and added to the place's total area and magical capacity and sufficient territory has been annexed and added to the place's total area, magical capacity, and employees. What? Let's think. Employees. Think. Let's think. And total manpower. Enough resources have been added to the place's total area, magical capacity, and total manpower to increase the base level of the compound's power, period. Would you like to upgrade the place? Upgrade the the what? The would you like to upgrade the level of the place and its inherited, annexed, integrated, territories? Yes. No. After Lou read and reread the message, he figured out wait. While that message made him, let's see, trying to think about. After Lou selected sorry, I'm trying to stay by the mic. After Lou selected the yes option, he read and was reading the next message that realized why things were taking so long and why the level up was crucial. Now that the inner, okay, with the completion, with the, when the gatehouse of the territory. The gatehouse territory is it's the wife. She's asking I take the cat to the vet today. That's why I started late. That's why I usually leave my phone in the other room. Has finished being annexed and integrated into the place's physical and magical structuring access to the second and interior of the second ring of Helter Skelter will be available. Caution. Caution. Monsters. Windows Defender didn't find anything, so that's cool. Hey, 76,000 words. Woo! 24,000 to go. Thank you for all the support, everybody. We're killing it. Let's see. Caution, caution, caution. Monsters increase in strength the closer to the tower, period. Those on the inside the second ring of Helter, the city will be more than twice as strong as those in the third. $96.45, 1,900 and something. I think she's coming home at 3:30. Man, I am having trouble today. Probably because I'm looking at these. Nah, it's not just that. It's just focus is tough. Let me think. I'm gonna take 5. I'll be right back. 5, 6, I'll be right back. I know, I'm sorry. I see 5 minutes. I need coffee. This is one of those. This is one of those days. Okay. Okay, let's think. Those inside the city's second ring will be more than twice as strong as those in the third. Contrary to how one would think, Lou, he would take this information a giant shit-eating grin broke out across Lou's face as he read and then reread the message before closing it and sending out messages of his own to all the defenders, including the Tribble, the newly joined to their newfound Tribble friends. Aw yeah, here we go. Still got 2,000 words. 1920. Oh God. Today's one of those days where I'm like, it's one of those days where it's a slog. Thinking is a slog. Okay. What happens? They need to get across the land. They need to eat. They need to find new monsters. There needs to be stronger monsters. They are happy that they're about to fight stronger monsters because they've gone from scared defenders to conquerors. And with their strength being increased so much by the annexation of territory, it's time to start having some conflict. Plus, they would all be wanting that, I think, because they're warriors. Or at least that's the mindset. When you start winning a lot, you want to keep winning. Okay. The last telling the team leaders to meet back at the restaurant. Lou said his goodbyes to the Tribbles staying to finish the... Hi. Hi. Oh, say hi. Everybody's my cat Winston. He went to the vet today, got a shot, Silencia shot, because he's got arthritis and he's 21 years old. How you doing, buddy? You hungry? You want to get some tuna fish? Yeah. And Winston the cat. How about some cat safe? Ooh, how about some cat safe? Those are some good monsters. Magical. Let's see. What kind of monsters are we gonna... You know what? I have an idea. I'll be right back. Come on, buddy. Let's get you some food. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Just a moment. I'll be right back. I gotta give him some food and grab the book. Come on. Come on. I got this handy dandy monster manual. Let's peruse it and see if there's anything interesting in it. Who knows what that's from? Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Angels. We got some undead already. Bugbears. Haven't done bugbears. Bullets. Cockatrice. Coatls. Death Knights. Demons. Nah, Inner City. I think Inner City will be demons. Driders. Gargoyles. Jinn, Afrits, Ghost. Ooh. Giants. Okay, okay. Mind Flayers, Golems. Alright. Let's think. What would be a fun thing? We have Mind Flayers, Minotaurs. Alright, alright. Okay. I think I got an idea. Okay. Okay. To finish claiming the gatehouse and headed back to the restaurant and headed back to meet the others. As well as defenders. That's fine. This sentence doesn't make much sense. To the Tribble Defenders stationed there, and headed back to meet the others. The main dining room. He was the last to arrive and waved. Hello, but no one saw him, as they were already deeply embroiled in ear-splitting arguments as usual. As per usual. Why he expected any different was beyond Lou. It was like expecting a drunk not to get drunk. $17.50 to go. Whittle it down. Like I said, just pick a number and keep writing. Obviously, if your number was less, it'd be a lot easier. Hmm. 1,749 words to go. La 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 la. Think, 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 thinking, 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 bum 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 bum. Maybe the music's not helping. Here we go. Was beyond him. Or asking a crazy person not to be crazy. Lou threaded his way through the dining room and into the kitchen where Diddy had left a serve yourself buffet up for... When did they attack? I think it was the morning. Pretty sure. As a breakfast and lunch combination. Who had helped him him and his team put it together the night before, as it was just a selection of all the dishes that they'd made so far. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. There was Kentucky. There was KFI. Kentucky Fried Imp, along with all the fixings. They'd there's Kentucky Fried Imp with along with all the fixings. I had that explained earlier, yeah. Orc, kanji, and its accoutrement. What else? The various cave spider dish variations. Even the most recent, even Diddy's most recent creation, kanji. Oh, yes, dear. Chikungunya, that the disease spread by mosquitoes is like, there's huge outbreaks in China and they're spraying like stuff everywhere, and now like dengue fever, yellow fever, West Nile, all that stuff's coming up in Florida, and now they're saying chikungunya probably because of the massive amounts of people moving around the world. Fucking crazy. Not getting proper health. Well, I'm not gonna fuck with that. Motherfuckers. I'm healthy, so it doesn't matter. I get up every day, do all my shit, 4 a.m., eat right, healthy, yoga. Gotta do it, man. If you want to be, you know, gotta do it. Just gotta do it. It's hard, but you gotta do it. What else are you gonna do? Just drink and eat shit and get fat and die at fucking 60? Take drugs, take fucking Ozempic, take all the other shit? Fuck. Fuck that. Not me, man. The smell of the orc alone exactly that of crackling bacon or and grilling and pork fat burning over the grill caused his mouth to salivate as Lou loaded his plate. He hadn't even reached the various cave spider dish. The cave spider dish variations. And by the time he'd finished loading up, his plate looked like someone who'd never been to a buffet before. Meaning he had to balance the leaning tower of food like a as if as it swayed this way and that on his way back to the dining room. Do 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 do. Ah, sounds just too bad. Do 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 do. Years of meticulous, years of disciplined and rigorous, some would say, what's that? Masochistic training, coupled with having served tables as a youth more than as a cover for his main career, saw Lou to his destination without losing a morsel. All right, less than 1,500 to go, cruising along. All right, 1,500 words to go. It's not bad. Actually, that's not true. 1,600. 1,660. Derp derp. Ugh. Thinking about things to write. Thinking about things to write. Thinking about things to write. I'm thinking about things to write. Thinking about things to write. Thankfully, Lou was able to scarf down his mountain of food before the arguments came his way. He sat back, digesting his overly stuffed meal, while patting his overly stuffed stomach and mildly distended belly, letting the heated words play over him. Letting the heated words pass him by as if they were blown away by the wind. When the others finally noticed the beatific smile that never left his face, they all quieted down, one after the other. $1,600. Keep it going. Let's see. When the last person shut their trap, Blanca Fang, of course, Lou sat up and looked around, giving his best, most confident smile. After catching everyone's eye, he began. I understand all the objections. I myself have had internal arguments with myself, going back and forth over the same things same issues you all have. The conclusion I came to, however, was much different than the one you all seem to have. This caused the room to go even more quiet as they listened intently to Lou. None of them had thought, as they listened intently to Lou, aware that he had their full attention. He was silent for a few more seconds, ratcheting up the suspense before sending out a message. And a message to them through the internal messaging, through the place's internal messaging system. Check your messages, he said with barely contained glee. Now we're under 1,500, huh? Not bad. So less than 1,500 to go. Okay, 1,000 words. Done. Well, more than 1,000, but not much. Oh. Oof. Oh, there we go. That was a good one. 100 words at a time, 10 words at a time, 50 words at a time, 60 words at a time. Just keep it going. Just keeping it going. What else can we listen to? We'll try this. Man, so tired. Quit whining, Gabe. Let's go. The faster I do it, the faster I'm done. Shittier the work is, though. Do it right. Lou waited patiently as first one, then another looked up at him with the same incredulous look on their faces, until everyone was staring at him. All trying to ask the same question. That's right. He shouted. He shouted over all of them, quieting the room, and continuing. Monsters are over twice as strong as the ones we've been the strongest monsters the strongest monster we've fought yet. And you are right, you are not seeing things. We are still, with all our buffs from the place, and The food, we are, all of us, even the tribbles are stronger than are, even tribbles are more powerful than those inside the second ring. The guildmaster stood up and shook his fist at Lou. So, you are just saying we go into the second ring filled with more powerful undead, comma, I'm talking wraiths. I'm talking ghouls. GH ghouls, wraiths, maybe revenants, and most definitely vampires. Along with from what my scout and what my scouts and what information we've been able to gather on the interior saying we go into the second ring just like we did the third, even though it's getting rings so far. A colony of what? Drow? No, not drow. A colony of What should they fight? Let's see. I don't want to fight Drow. Demons will be the last ring. Golem. Maybe Golem and Giants? Golems and Giants, maybe? Ooh, werewolves. Okay. all the familiars that those vampiric bastards love to have in their entourages. Lou could tell that the outburst from the guildmaster was pageantry by the barely contained jubilation that was bursting out from his one eye and underpinning every word he said. He knew that because he was able to, because he had access to the man's personal information sheet breakdown as his employer. But the guildmaster didn't know that, and Lou had no intention of informing him then, or maybe ever. Information was power, and it was foolish to waste power on for no reason. Zoom, 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 capoeira, bataum. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Superstition, force habits, what I do. Sorry. So, 1,232 words to go. 1232. Man, internet is so bad. Bang. Bang. Okay. Almost 77. Once we get to 77, it's all downhill from there. 1 hour, 30 minutes. 1,240 to go. Okay, so we're halfway done. Over halfway done. Lou filed the tidbit away for later and gestured around the room and finishing with the guildmaster. Come off it, man. Lou scoffed, cutting the gray beard off mid-tirade and standing whilst striding up to him and standing his full height, which didn't bring him nearly eye to eye with the almost foot taller man, but did have the intended effect of emphasizing his soon-to-be point. You feel it, and if you've read your personal information sheet lately, you'd have seen it, but all of us, even me, who is the weakest of us all, except for individual tribbles and the two noble women, is, to put it mildly, hell of fucking strong. The use of the vulgarity took the room aback. One just didn't speak that way in the world of soul, much less in polite society. Helter Skelter was even more prickly in that particular way than the Imperium he had been informed by Lord Cerulean during one of his many rambling explanations. So you get it? See, almost there. We less than 1,000. Less than 1,000. Less than 1,000 soon. Tongue twister. Wife. Man. If I was a quitter, I would stop now. But I'm not a quitter. Oh, I am a stretcher. Oh. Okay. let's get to 77 and take a little break. Now that Lou was sure he had shocked the room into relayed his plan. The guild master is right. Let's continue what we've been doing, but even faster. The speed of annexation of territory will take twice as long in the and subsequent integration of conquered territory will take twice as long in the second ring. We need therefore it is imperative that we conquer and annex more territory at once to keep our magical bonuses and buffs from our meals if we want to be able to keep an advantage in the final ring, in the final inner ring. Already he explained stopping and waiting for the others to digest his words and come up with any questions. Less than 1,000 words to go. Okay, 977 to go. Bow bow. Bow bow. Twitch is still going good. Kick is still going good. Still going good. Kick's still going good. Okay. Good. Aw. It's because I'm not moving. Not smoothing such viewers will experience. Sorry, man, I'm trying. Just don't have the speed, yo. Okay. Less than 1,000 words to go. We're at 1 hour and 40 minutes. Not bad. We're not flying today. We're not cruising super speed, but, you know, maybe another hour or so. Maybe less. We'll see how it goes. Take a little break. It is 12:40. Maybe 5-ish minutes. Maybe 5-6 minutes. Just a timeout. Ugh. Alright, here we go. We back. Here we go. Let's go, let's go. Less than 1,000. Let's do this. A few hands were raised. Hesitantly, and then lowered until finally Micah spoke up. I think the question on all our minds is not if we want to attack full speed ahead, as you like to say, Demon Rue, but that even with our increased strength and magical ability, vampires are no trivial matter. I recall a doppelganger a story don't you remember that vampiric doppelganger from just a few weeks ago? I know a lot has transpired, but that encounter can't have escaped your memory. Lou smiled even wider in return. I remember that imposter and the accompanying ninja bastards as well. And I know, and I hear your warnings on the vampires, and I hear your warnings about the vampires. That's one of the main reasons I called this meeting. Blanca Fang. The Alpha... The Beast Girl had been sullen and brooding ever since being what? Shushed by him earlier, but perked up, but her ears perked up at the mention of her name. And her eyes, she turned to Lou, her curiosity overriding her cantankerousness. But not, okay. What do you want? First, you tell me to shut up, and now you want to talk to me? Lou ignored the obviously rewritten version of the past and moved with it. Asked his questions. You told me that the Dire Wolf tribe had been sworn enemies of the vampires since time immemorial. Is that... what? Is that... were you exaggerating? This time, of course not. Blanca Fang growled, roared, rising to her feet as if preparing, leaping from rising from her annoyed, lackadaisical seated posture, like as if she'd been electrocuted. So fast that Lou thought she might strike him, but stopped and as few feet away and shaking her fist. I have vowed and every single member of the dire wolf tribe have vowed to erase the vampire scourge from the face of Soul. Good, Lou said with a cheerful nod. Then you can tell me some things about vampires. Are all the stories true? Do they hate garlic, crosses, and water? Do you have to invite them in? Well, I guess you do, because that doppelganger wasn't able to cross the place's threshold. What about the other things? Do they turn into bats? Do they He asked. He bombarded Blanca Fang with questions so fast that the beast girl could only nod and stutter in response until Lady Cecilia had to put her hand on until Guild Master Urza had to place her hand on Lou's shoulder to get him to take a breath and to pause long enough for to respond. $625 to go. Ugh. Oof. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we already did that, didn't we? 25. Okay. Insert page break. Bunk. I think it's time to let the girl talk, Urza said, catching Lou's eye. And everyone else with knowledge of vampires. Lou nodded and let the others speak, and over the course of the next hour they hashed out what they all knew about vampires. What worked and what was effective against them, and what was nonsense. Blanca Fang proved the most knowledgeable, but the surprise information, but the second biggest contributor was surprisingly Raphael. He knew a lot about the workings of the vampire culture, as he'd almost become one of them. When asked about this, Raphael firmly stated that it was a tale for later. Much later, if ever. His cousin, his sister, Lady Monica, reinforced his wishes by restating and daring anyone to force the issue. After a few shrugs, they moved on, and Lou and began discussing which teams were going to wait. And Lou had the answers to his questions and began relating, enacting his new plan, which began with the creation and distribution of vampire fighting tools. Alright, less than 500 to go. Ugh. If Lou thought it was weird that in a magical world with magical weapons and magical spells that he needed specific weapons to kill a specific vampire, a specific monster, he kept it to himself. The key to defeating any enemy or overcoming any difficult situation started with believing that you could. With belief. Lou hadn't hadn't thought that, truly internalized and understood and internalized the idea of believing in one's self, writing it off for years as what most people, rational beings, would call silliness, woo-woo, or insanity, or childish, or woo-woo. His favorite coincidentally one Lou's favorite description, but also the most accurate. It was woo, so to speak. But that didn't make it false, make it untrue. He had learned in his many years as a gun or as a killer for hire that most people were not only stupid but jealous, insecure, and selfish. It wasn't malicious. People didn't wake up in the morning and decide to be pieces of garbage. Well, some did, but most did not. It just happened. Life was hard, and the majority of human beings buckled under the pressure. That's fucking right, you do, bitches. And no, it's true. Everybody does. It's hard. Life's hard. Was inevitable. Life was hard. Lou was not immune to it and had gone through quite a few periods of being pushed to the breaking point. One could argue that his choice of careers was the evidence that he'd already broken. Lou didn't. He didn't see it that way, but could understand those who did. Because he was once like that. Always looking outside of himself and his flaws and issues at others and pointing them out and saying to himself, I'm not as bad as they are. Oof. All right. 238 to go. Where's Grammarly at? There it is. Okay, let's keep going. Almost there. Oof. Whoa. At the end of the day, though, he was just as bad. Always deflecting. Always unable to take accountability. Lou remembered the day he'd realized that he was the only one who could make himself feel or feel any kind of way or do anything. That day had been a special kind of freedom that had stuck with him for the next 20 years of 10 years, 12 years of his past life. Having that clarity of mind and focus at such a young age in his new life was not lost on Lou. Is everyone... Lou, he'd often wondered why he became so philosophical before missions, and chalked it up to the real high possibility of death, which was what was going on now. He was crouched with his team, all laden with the agreed upon implements to combat vampires, along with all their regular gear and weaponry to combat the other monster types. About to assault the first set of shops inside the second ring wall. Marigold was taking point, as she was a priestess, and her holy magic was anathema to undead. Vampires, especially. Vampires especially hated her kind. Pavlov came next, adorned with cloves of garlic and bandoliers of holy water filled balloons and two huge super soakers, also filled with holy liquid. Chris tossed over his shoulders. I came next. Wait. The Tanuki came next, similarly decked out to Pavlov, but with smaller super soaker weaponry, but Lou brought up the rear in his also wearing the garlic and water balloon holy water balloon bandoliers, but with his new favorite weapon, his double-barreled shotgun in high hand, but in hand. Hey buddy, I'm almost done. Just give me 2 minutes. That's my cat. No! I muted the mic a long time ago. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Yeah, sorry for beating the mic. Anyway, hit the goal. 78,051. Call it a day. Thank you for watching on Twitch. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching on Kick. I appreciate you. As usual, I think I will call this a night. A day. 1:30. Yeah. I'm burnt out. Thank you, Prime Thanatos, for the music. Please don't get me. And I will log it off, man. Kick, Twitch, YouTubes. Deuces.